Yo, Mr. Jammer XL1. I'm making a heist video here with every single information you would possibly need to run heist. We're going over our heist builds. You can also see in the description POBs for the under 20 divine one and for one that's over a mirror. So just go wherever you want with that. It's like totally cracked. The under 20 divine one has over 400% movement speed, which is sexy if you want to run heist. It's also pretty damn defensive. You can run everything with it, so that's a GG's. We're doing also timestamps in this video, so you could just like go to wherever you want. We start out with the build, and after the build, we're going over all the heist gears. After the heist gears, we're going after every single one of the chests in heist. We're going over like tips and tricks. We're going over like everything you possibly want to know. And at the very end, we're going over every single ticket item or items that are worth a lot in heist right now. So that is what we're currently doing, and I hope you like watching this video, and let's go. Okay, let's quickly go over the gear of the under 20 divine build. You start off with an Injimonji. You literally don't care what's on it. 1 chaos. You put on clarity and vitality as high as you can. The helmet's devotion. The most important thing, 90% cost and reservation multiplier. This thing will probably cost you like 3 or 4 divines. It's literally your best in slot. The reason is it stacks with Enlightened, and it basically makes it so you have like double Enlightened practically on it then. You then use Determination on the helmet with Haste and Grace, as high as you can get. For the shield, you're going for the Peripeteia. As much movement speed as possible, the other stat don't matter. The best implicit modifier you could get is have the 30% increased reservation, but that's really expensive, so you could literally buy just like a 15% movement speed to 20% movement speed and you're golden. You don't need anything else. Implicit modifiers don't matter. On an amulet, try to get some all attributes with intelligence would be nice. Some res or life. Try to get life on like everything you can. For the ring, try to get like resistances. The most important is the non-channeling craft, which is like 3 chaos craft. If you get life on it, really nice. If you get some resist on it, even better. Both rings, same thing. For the body armor, we're using Queen of the Forest. The stats on it literally don't matter. The only thing you need to have it is 4 link. And you can have steel skin on it with more duration, automation, and phase run. If you have a 6 link, you can also add enhance. And with enhance and phase run, you get 70% movement speed instead of 49, which is cracked. For the belt, it's a 1 chaos belt, the Reg. This basically increases duration of all your flasks. And increase your movement speed by a lot, 15%. And reduce charges gained, which literally does not matter. On the boots, we're using movement speed, life, and if you can get resist and suppression, it's a bonus. For gloves, the most important thing is to have suppression on the gloves. If you can get resist and life on it, it's a bonus. You don't really have to care about having like defensive crafts on those boots and gloves, so don't worry about it. You'll hit the cap of the Queen of the Forest, that's like 80k, super easily, so you really don't have to care. And then for the flasks, your best flask is the instant recovery on low life, together with bleeding and curve the blood immunity. With your passive tree and your Ascendancy, whenever you click this flask on below 50 life, 50% life, you basically heal your entire life back. You heal like 4,000 or 5,000 instantly. It's cracked. For the silver flask, for any of those flasks, try to get like armor or evasion on one of them. That's the most important thing, armor and evasion on one of them. If you can get movement speed on one of them would also be nice. All of them have reused at the end of the flask effect. And then you're trying to get reduced charges per use on the silver. You're trying to get increased duration on the jade. You try to get reduced charges on the granite. And you're trying to get increased duration on the quicksilver flask. And that's it kind of for the gear. Let's get right into the passive tree and everything else. Let's go. And the tree basically goes like this. You're basically going up here. You take the reservation mastery with charisma. You then take this slot over here. You can put in a jewel with 7% life. You move over here and then you got evasion mastery. And you can put only 100% evasion for body armor. So this body armor right now has 2.7k, so I would get like 5.6 plus k evasion for the body armor with this node. And then you also have Revenge the Hunted, more life, more suppression on max life. You move down here, Aspect of the Lynx, 5% movement speed. Then you could use over here the Transcendent Spirit, or you put a 7% life jewel in here, which is also cracked. Because if you put the 7% life node, you don't need those dex nodes. Those dex nodes you only need once you have the Transcendent Spirit. Because look, 24%, and if I take one away, the 24 becomes 19. So I get like 5% movement speed each dex node, as long as you have the Transcendent Spirit, but you don't need it. Over here we take the 30% life. 30 flat life, because our body armor has life, so you cannot take the 15%. Then I went down here and I got myself the field medicine, which is basically so you always get like way more health back from your flasks. I went over here, Transcendent Spirit, you could put 7% life here and you'd be vibing. Over here, Flask Mastery, gain an additional charge back each 3 seconds, really good, and then just take the Profane. You can take Reflexes, or you could go over here for another 15% suppression if you need it. Mage Bane, cracked. I went over here to Sentinel. You can put a 7% life jewel here, or Transcendent Spirit, your choice. And you get some free rests while you're going for it. You get another 10% life, and some flat life. Here, Mana Mastery, reduced mana cost, really nice. And then you have increased mana and damage recouped as mana, so you always get your mana back. Well, we already have Clarity, so it's just like a bonus on top of it. Over here, more evasion and stuff. You don't really need this once you're at a point that you have 80k plus, but the Art of the Gladiator is good. Those two nodes on the left, you don't really need those too much, but the Art of the Gladiator is really nice. Over here we take the Wisdom Gate and Beef, which is basically just more stats because it's like difficult to get all these stats. You and Evasion Mastery, 10% increased movement speed, and while phasing, if I'm correct, gain phasing on kills we have, and increased movement speed while phasing. Over here we took another 12% reservation node, which is cracked. Over here we took 10% life, huge. Over here we went for the Armored Evasion Mastery. You get 40% more armor if you haven't been hit, and 40% increased evasion if you have been hit. So I'm currently sitting on 50k. With all this up, we sit at 92, and then we hit that, and then we go to 110, which is overkill. We don't even we don't even need this node, but you can, for instance, take this away, and you could take, for instance, the each 4 seconds regenerate life equal to 1% of your arm and evasion rating, and then you heal like 600 life per 4 seconds, or like between like 400 and 800. You could also take defend 120% armor with projectile attacks, but I just took like the armored evasion because why not? We take courage and we take graceful assault, and whenever I'm hit, I get the other 15% spell suppression. So that's why I didn't take this suppression node, because I just have to get hit once and I'll be max spell suppression. And then we went for increased effect of onslaught, which is like cracked. And then here comes the main pieces that you need. You need brute for potency on a medium cluster with spiked concoction. This is like really easy to get. As you can see over here, you have increased attack and cast speed with spiked concussion, but the gain alchemist genius is like really good. And over here, brute potency, increase the charges gained. It's like, and you get more life. You can get this by doing reforged speed or reforged life on the harvest craft, and or you can just spam it with alteration orbs and you get it pretty easily. And then you get the small cluster over here, and we have sublime form, so we get another 50% mana reservation for grace, because it's like really expensive to have determination and grace on at the same time. So having the sublime form just changes everything. I think those clusters are the most important thing probably from the whole passive tree, in my opinion. And then I go up here, evasion mastery, avoid bleeding, poison, impale. Doesn't really do a lot, but you get more movement speed over here with cooldown recovery on your flame dash. Then you got flask mastery. This basically gives you 4% life back whenever you use a flask, and it just keeps on like spamming flask, so just like free life back. And then over here, remove main and hinder when you use a flask. This can happen the whole time, so you just basically never get maimed and hindered because you always use flasks. And you have increased effect on flasks, which is like cracked. And that's about it for like the passive tree. This is like really easy to set up. You need to be at least level 90, I would say, with a Pathfinder. I recommend going Elemental Hit of the Spectrum when you're leveling the Pathfinder, because you can just outscreen the monsters and they cannot hit you and you level up for free. That's it basically for the passive tree. Let's go to the heist itself. So next up is the Ascendancy. You go for Pathfinder, which comes from Ranger. And you basically take Nature's Adrenaline, you take Nature's Boon, Master Alchemist makes it 50% chance that when you use a flask, it does not consume the charge, so it just keeps on going, because you have on your flasks reused at the end of this flask effect. And you're increasing the effect by as much as possible, so then you get it longer, plus you basically get infinite charges then practically. So it's like having a mageblood without a mageblood. Big brain. Then you go for increased duration here. You go for this node over here. Flask applied to you 5% additional effect. And that is practically all you need. If you're running mageblood, you can remove Master Alchemist. And then you can go for flask effect. And that gives you 5% more flask effect, which is pretty nice. Now, the most important things for heist to know is probably the gear, like hands down, most important things. You can level up your heist characters really quickly by just like focus spamming that. But what I recommend is look for 3 of the same things on every single build. As you can see, each of those like builds have 3 things the same. I'm gonna go over it. You got the precise arrowhead, you got the foliate brush, and you got the whisper woven cloak. You can use those 3 on every single heist character. So you never have to like look for other things, it's really easy to look at. The best thing to get on the precise arrowhead is 20% job speed. You don't like need it, you can literally run 15% increased job speed and it will be enough. But you can go up to 20, so why not, you know? The easiest way to get this is doing reforged speed and harvest. It's hands down the easiest way to get this, because you can only get this, so yeah, literally free. For the brush, 2 things to look after. The 15% chance to duplicate contained basic currency. This counts for every single currency in heist, except the end reward of a blueprint. So every chest you're opening every single chest you open has a 15% to duplicate like all the currency drops in there. So what I mean with that is like all the base currency counts as currency, all the maps count as currency. Then you go further, all the delve items like this all counts as currency on the heist. Oils count as currency, fragments count as currency, gems will also be duplicated by currency, essences will be duplicated by currency, cards will be duplicated by currency, ultimatum catalyst will also be duplicated by that currency, delirium also. So that is why having that like currency on the volatile brush is probably like the best thing you can go for. Get at least 10% of the currency dupe, and then you should go for above 10% job speed together with it. I recommend Reforge Harvest speed until you have like a 10% duplicate contained currency. You can go until 20% job speed here, and then you go to the Whisper Woven Cloak. The Whisper Woven Cloak has something interesting on it. For instance, you can get 15% movement speed while the area is not on lockdown. You can stack this by 3 times. So whenever you're doing a blueprint, you mostly have 3 or 4 of those mercenaries from Heist with you. And each of those woven cloaks that each of them use stack together. It's the same thing with all the job speed that is global. So each time you have more than one mercenary in your blueprint, when you're doing your blueprint, all of that will stack together. And this is like crazy with the movement speed. You're practically boosting your movement speed up with like almost 100%, having like your entire like deck full with this. But the most important thing obviously is the job speed. There's also a really rare one you can have on the woven cloak. There is a mod, if I'm correct, that makes it so if you have an end reward in a blueprint, whenever you're opening an end reward, there's a 5% chance that you can open another one. But that is so rare. That's like probably 1 in 1500 rerolls, and it's just like totally not worth going for in my opinion. So you can literally just forget it and just put on 20% job speed with increased movement speed. And then we go over all the main gears right now. So let's start out with Karst. Karst's main gear is the Master Lockpick. You can get 20% job speed on this, but you can also get 20% lockpicking speed together with the 20% job speed, together with the 15% lockpicking speed that's on the implicit. So you can get triple job speed on like the main part of every single heist character, but it's not necessary. You can literally go for 15+% and you're golden. And for instance, on Niels, the best one is the Traumertical. I don't even know how to spell this. You can literally just read it. Vort. 20% job speed, really huge. Huck you never use. Like, Huck is the worst character. That's the only character you're never gonna use. For tips, the best one is this one, Ruined Bracers. Just go for 20% job speed. Then we go for the net. The best thing on the net is the Thaumaturgical Sensing Charm. Just go for 15% plus job speed, GG's. Then we go over here for Finderi. The best item for Finderi is the Grandmaster Keyring. Go for 15+% increased job speed and GG's. Then we go to Lina. Just use this one. Silk, Weave, Soul is the best gear you can use on her. And just get 15% increased agility speed or job speed. I recommend going for the job speed, but agility speed is the same because you're only using her for that. Then you're going for the Guyana. This is your best in slot 1. You need to have like Guyana almost perfect. So on Guyana I have 20% job speed here, 20% job speed here, 20% job speed here. And here I have 17 job speed with tier 1 max rolled currency dupe. The reason why you always have Guyana with your best gear is because you're using Guyana for deception contracts. And once you're running deception contracts, you go to Guyana, and when you reveal, you're gonna be reviewing for like 40% less markers. So the reason why we're doing that is like this literally the only like normal contract you run is deception. You don't run trauma. You don't run all the other ones. Only deception for the normal contracts. And your main focus is going to be blueprints. There's like two really good ups from Vienna. One, she can most of the times have card rooms, and two, she also you only have to open the doors once instead of the other ones. You also have to open doors on the way back. As you can see, there's a card room over here. Let's see if the currency dupe instantly dupes it. Yes, it did. So instead of 2 cards, we got 4 cards there because the currency dupe. We mainly just run for the end objective from Deception. And let's quickly open this. You can just like throw things around it and grab it. And then you can just run straight out without like waiting for anything. So it's literally free real estate. You just run out really quickly. Ta -ta 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 -ta. And now I can show you what to do with that. You complete deception, you get this, throw that away to this NPC. Then you go to a blueprint. Now quickly show this. The reason why we run Guyana is this. You throw a blueprint into Guyana, and then you have options to reveal. You could full reveal, which take 6 different reveals. I don't recommend that. Only do full ring reveals. And as you can see, 40% discount. So each time you get a deception contract, you can do this. And this is how you deck out like blueprints really quickly for reveals. So now on the top you can see 2 out of 4 wings. And you can just max that out. Also something really smart to notice. For blueprints, you could literally just scour it and run a white blueprints. The reason why we're running white blueprints, all the modifiers that you get on a blueprint only goes to the monsters, and it does not affect the chests, and it also does not affect the end reward. So there's no point in running modifiers, because your goal in Heist is just to open chests and get the end objective. Your objective in blueprints is not killing the monsters, so it's pointless to use any modifiers on a blueprint. And then next, once you got your blueprint and you got your reveals, just get your characters in here and then confirm, run it with Adrian, Bob. We start out with this weapon chest on the left side here. Those are the worst chests you can open, and never open those doors in your entire life because you can get nothing from that. Just forget that exists. Then you see the essence doors. Always open the essence doors because you can get normal essences, but you can also get ascent scarabs. You can get calcification scarabs. The ascent scarabs will mostly sell between like 5 to 15 chaos. But the craziest is this. Look at this. Bomb. It's just streamer luck, man. It is what it is. Calcification on PC sells for like 40 kills. On console it sells for like 80 kills. And the Essence normal scarab can sell between 1 to 5 kills each. So this is why I mostly open the Essence doors, because they're pretty chill. Next over here we have the fossil chests. Those are like crack, because you can also get dense fossils out of it. You can get deft, metallic, everything you can get kind of out of it. The only thing you cannot get out of those fossils are like the delve specific ones. And you can also not get the 4 resonator ones out of those. But those are like hands down one of the best you can open together with currency. So always open those fossil chests because they're just crack. You got over here a blight room. I would personally never open this. If you see blight rooms like this, just forget they exist. Like, they're dog shit. Over here you got the currency room. The currency room is also one of the best ones. You can also get divine orbs out of them. And if you have the dupe on your amulet, you can also duplicate the divine orbs you get out of it. But this time we didn't get it, but you can get chaos orbs and all sorts of like base currents out of it, which is like crazy good. Next are those unique chests over here. So there's actually something funny to talk about with the unique chests. 1 in 15,000 unique chests can give you a mageblood. 1 in 15,000. Given you could open around 100 a day, you could get it in 15 days, but the chance of you getting that is so low that it's just not gonna happen. Like it's just never gonna happen. You're never gonna open one of those unique chests and get something worth more than a divine. The chance of you getting something worth more than a divine out of this thing is just impossible. Look, it's so bad it doesn't even appear. Like it's 1 chaos here, and here you get a Dunes map, which is also 1 chaos. And every time you open this, you practically get 1 chaos worth of uniques. So never open the unique chest. Next is the ultimatum rooms. You can get every single ultimatum scarab from this. One of them sells for like a divine, like 1 or 2 div for a single scarab. And you can also get the catalysts like from this. So let's say I open this, I'm guaranteed to get a catalyst out of it. Look, you can get every single catalyst out of here. The resistance one is probably the best one, sells for the best. You can get like 10 of them, sell for a divine. So I would say the ultimatum chest is not too bad, but you're mostly opening like delve, cards, currency, essence over this. But it's not bad, okay? So you could open this. Over here you got the Harbinger chests. 1 in 250 Harbinger chest could get you a fracturing orb. But most of the times you're not even opening this because there's other rooms with better rewards. But if you want to try your luck trying to get a fracturing orb, you could open the Harbinger rooms. Over here we got the Delirium chests. The Delirium chests are probably, together with the armor and weapon ones, the worst chests to open. I never recommend opening this unless you really want to have a simulacrum. You could open, I would say, around 10 of those doors and you get yourself a simulacrum, which is not too bad if you really want to run simulacrum also. But you could rather just run Delirium itself and then you just get in like a couple maps. Way easier than taking these nodes here in Heist. So I don't recommend opening the Delirium doors. They're not that great. Okay, over here you got the map rooms. The map rooms are actually pretty good. You can get tier 16 maps from this. And you can get Cartographic Scarab, you can get Risk Scarabs. You can get all of that from this. You can also get your tier 60 maps, you can get your Guardian maps out of this. I think it's really nice, like in the first like 1 or 2 days of a league, to open those map chests, because then you can just like quickly map and get your map completion. Because based on the level of the blueprint you're doing or the contract that you're doing, you're also getting maps equal to around that level. So right now I'm running monster level 83, so I can get tier 16s. If you're running like monster level 75, you can get like tier 5 to 12. So that's also really nice to know when you're just like starting out the league. We got over here the breach chests. Those are ass, so never open them. Once you see a gem chest, put your filter on semi-strict, and there's a really good reason for that. Once you're opening gem chests, you can then see the blue overlayer, which then is 20 quality. You always take them with you. You can sell them for like 20 kills each. or you could just leave it be. You can also get an enlightened gem, an empowered gem, or an enhanced gem from the gem chest in Heist. So that's also pretty nice knowledge to know. You can also get level 20 gems with 20 quality. You can also get level 21 gems with 20 quality. The only thing you cannot get are the level 21 corrupted gems. You cannot get that in Heist. Over here we got the fragment room. You can get like guaranteed scarabs, sacrificial, dust, if you want to fight Ziri. And it's just all like random scarabs. It's not really a bad room. It's like you run this if there's nothing better, so you would probably open a fragment room. You can get synthesized items from this. You can get +1 frenzy charge ring from this, which sells for 300 divines, but the chance of finding one of those is like so low. It's just incredibly low. It's like finding a simplex amulet practically. But it's fun to open and then check out what's in there. As you can see, you get fractured items, and you sometimes also get synthesis items. Synthesis is like 50% chance to get, like 50%. And mostly you're just gonna get like fractured items, and you can get like even tier 1 fractures. You get +1 all skill fracture and so forth. So I would say if you're like farming fractures, you're an SSF, this is like something to look out for. Okay, and those are the abyssal rooms. The abyssal rooms are kind of ass. If you're playing SSF, it's not too bad. You always get like ghastly eye jewels and those kind of things out of here. So if you're like focusing on those things, then you can practically get it from here pretty easily. And it's just sad because you cannot really get fractured out of this. From the ring one, you can also get the same ones as this, and also fractured. So I recommend opening the ring one over the abyss one, but that's just my opinion about it. And now of course the most important thing of a heist is the end loot. So having like knowledge of various end loot that you can get from a blueprint is really nice. But they added a new mechanic which you can just go into options. Well, you go to chat and it freezes your whole game, and now you can just read what's on there and just look at it on the trade website. And this is how you can quickly price check it without getting like killed from monsters or anything while you're standing here. So if it's your first time running this, I recommend just going over some of the items and get like a general idea of what to pick. Like if I see all of those items here, for instance, I know that this trinket is trash. I know that this thorn sells for 1 KO, so I would never pick it. This advancing fort will sell for 1 KO, so I'd never pick it. This blood thorn sells for 1 KO. I would never pick it because it's like 2 of the same. And then you see over here a paradoxica. This paradoxica will sell for about 50 to 80 KOs on console. So I would take this with me. And then I'll just run to the end with it. You can throw your decoy totems around. Sometimes you have to open traps. What you can also do to not get hit is like run like this sideways up and down. And you barely get hit then. If you're like doing some of those really difficult ones. Because sometimes you're running out with like a 1+ divine item and you don't want to get hit, you don't want to die, and you just want to be like 100% sure to complete it, you know what I mean? Some of the high specific items you can get are, for instance, a tailoring orb. A tailoring orb on console sells for around 2 divines each, you can get from Heist. But on PC you can sometimes sell for even 3 divines. So tailoring orbs is one of the first like currency items at the end you're looking for, together with exalts and divine orbs. There's like the 3 like pretty nice ones to find often. And next up is a tempering orb. You can like you can basically also get a tempering orb at the end of a heist. 2 tempering orbs mostly sell for like a divine, and that's actually pretty good. So farm like 2 tempering orbs, then just go to the currency exchange, get your divine, Tempering orbs. I would mostly pick a tempering orb if there's nothing better than it, but it's like a pretty good item to look after. One of the few jackpot items you can get from the armors is replica of Feral's fur. This mostly sells for like 3 to 7 div based on where you're at the league. You mostly pick this, but if you see like tailoring orb together with this, I would take the tailoring orb over Feral's fur personally. But it's pretty nice to have like early league because then you can sell for like 10 div. But once it's like later into the league, it's gonna be like way down. So you're gonna be like 3 divine, 2 divine for a try of lamellar Feral's fur. Okay, one of the other kind of like jackpot items from body armors you can get is, for instance, replica Harvest Ire. Early league, this can sell up to like 15 divines, and later down the league, it will sell for like between 3 and 7 divines. If you make it 6 link and then sell, you can get like 8 to 10 divines, even pretty late into the league. And there's many like builds using this, so it's always nice to see one High Desire drop from Heist. Next up, one of the things you can get that's pretty good ticket item is Replica Headhunter. You mostly see this 1 in like 500 heists. It's not too bad. On console it sells for 30 divines, which is just like totally overpriced. It's worth like 2 divines to 5 divines at most. On PC it's currently selling for 1 divine, but early of the league it sells like 10, 20 div. But if it's like late in the league, don't look at this like this price. It's like totally not that expensive as this. On console, you could practically get it for like 5 to 10 div later the league, and early it's gonna be this price. So keep your eye out for a replica headhunter if you ever see one. Okay, the next ticket item you should look out for in Heist is the Fulcrum. You barely ever see the Fulcrum, but you can probably sell for like 1 to 3 divines. This man's selling it for fucking 6 divines because it's a colored one that he got from a Voidboard reliquary key. No, don't look at that. Just think about between 1 and 3 divines. That's mostly what you get for a Fulcrum in Heist. Okay, the next item we're looking for is Replica Oberon's Warpath. This is also one of the ticket items in Heist. This sells for between 10 to 20 div most of the times. On PC it's currently selling for 9 div, but you could probably get like 10 plus div out of this, 11 div. And on console you could sell this for like 15 div and probably get away with it. So that is one of the other ticket items you should keep an eye out for if you're in Heist. This is another item that you can find in Heist, but this is super rare. Replica Shroud of the Lightless. This is as rare as a helical ring. You barely ever see one with the 6 abyssal sockets. You can get like 10 to 30 div out of this. I think the 35 is like kind of overpriced, not gonna lie. But you can get like 10, 20, sometimes even 30 divines from Replica Shroud of the Lightless. Like, there's not many people that know this body armor, okay? There's like a couple. Because you barely ever see this. So, yeah. This is another ticket item. Replica Tukohama Fortress. Sells like 2 or 3 divines. On PC it's selling for 2.8 right now or something. This is a pretty good ticket item whenever you see it. 2 divines, easy. The ticket item. Replica Badge of the Brotherhood. It sells for 120 kills on PC right now. But on console you can get like 4 divines. Pretty damn easy for this. It's used for... Currently they're using this for Mercenaries. So very interesting to know that it's pretty popular right now on console. If your console, 4 divines each. Easy ticket item. If you roll like the normal version of the Reckless Defense from Heist, then it's like 50-ish chaos. So it's like not a bad item if you find like a max roll version, which is a 6-6. So I just wanted to say 3 divines if you ever see one. There's 2 other things. There are 2 other items I wanted to show, but they're not selling on console right now. The Maelstrom Staff Dusk Dawn and the Covenant Body Armor. The Covenant Body Armor is basically for minions for chaos damage. It's like very niche. And Dusk Dawn is one of those like crit block staffs, which is like pretty damn dope. But you can get it mostly for like between 1 and 4 divines or something like that. So that's kind of that. Let's just first go over the second best ring, okay? The second best ring you can find in Heist is the Cockwork ring. And other people call it the cock ring. But yeah, this ring is pretty nice. You can do like a decent craft on it and then sell for like 15 to 30 divines. Or you can just sell the base of this for like 5 to 10 divines. It's a pretty good damn ring if you find one. And it's pretty sought after too. So, Cockwork ring, look for it if you see it. Okay, now we go for the helical ring, which is the best ring you can find in Heist. This ring with a good craft can sell for mirrors, like literal mirrors. And if you look for like the decent ones, people are mostly selling it for like 90 to 100 divines. You can literally drop one of those and make 100 divines like almost instantly. You can just sell the ring normal for 100 div. You could split it also. And on PC it's 120 divines right now for a normal helical ring without split. And split it's 60 divines on PC right now. On console, if you have it split, it's probably like 50 div, 40 div. And on like a fully one, it's like 80 to 100 div right now. So, helical ring, if you ever find one, you hit a fucking jackpot. The second best amulet you can find, a focused amulet. The focused amulet sells for like 100 to 150 divines if you don't split it. If you split it, it's like 60 to 70 divines. It's the same for PC, it's pretty damn fucking expensive. You can get some insane crafts on this. You can get, for instance, a +8 amulet on focus, which is just like cracked, but you can get some insane stats on that. Most people just like craft whatever they need the most. For instance, look at this. This is almost perfect, okay? So you could get a triple hit. You could, for instance, get 4 all skills, you could get 4 all lightning, and you can get 4 frenzy charges. This man hit the low pole, he hit a double minus, which is just kind of trash. But if you hit the 3 times +4, you're looking at 2 mirrors. So this man sadly failed, but some people succeed and they get mirrors. Okay, now we go over the biggest jackpot item that you could possibly get in Heist, a simplex fucking amulet. Okay, you're looking at 150 to 200 divines split. If you have it non-split, you can sell for like 400 plus divines, 400, 500 divines for a non-split simplex amulet. If you're this lucky ass motherfucker that run one blueprint and fight a simplex, I hate you. I'm just kidding. But if you find a simplex amulet, you practically won, and you don't have to do much anymore that league because you can literally run every single build you possibly want to run. So look after simplex amulet if you find one. It's hands down the best shit you can possibly find. I'm just like thinking, what is like something that's equal to a simplex amulet what you could get from a heist? You could open one of the fractured doors in Heist if you do normal contracts or blueprints. You see a ring icon. If you open those chests, there is always guaranteed a fractured item in there, and there's 50% chance to be an synthesized item in there. You could get +1 frenzy charges implic on one of those synthesized rings that you can get from a heist. And those rings, there's only 2 places in the whole game where you can find them. One is ritual and one is heist. those rings you could sell for like 300 divines, but the chance of finding one is so minuscule that you probably play the game and never find one. So I just wanted to like add that to it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Took a long time making this, but I enjoy making this for you all, and I hope this will help people get into Heist. Have a great day and good luck, man. Cheers.